Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video and welcome to round 11 of our F125 LH44 career mode. Yes, we're back this weekend here in the Styrian Mountains for the Austrian Grand Prix. Of course, if you missed out on the video that went live a few days ago from Canada, I would say go back and check it out. It might well be the most boring race I've ever done on F125. A bit like Monaco a few weeks back, we absolutely dominated, which I can't complain about, but we did lead all 70 laps of the Grand Prix. It does, however, mean we are back comfortably nestled in the World Championship fight. Lando Norris still leads the way, 15 clear of Charles Leclerc, but then there is 9 points covering Leclerc, Verstappen, Tsunoda, and myself. Even George Russell and Oscar Piastri aren't a million miles away either, but 2 wins for us this season, 2 wins for Verstappen, 2 wins for Norris, and then 1 for Leclerc and Yuki Tsunoda, as well as Russell and Piastri. It's safe to say this championship so far has been wide open, and I'm hoping, of course, as we head to a few tracks that I really like inside this game, hopefully that will continue on. Of course, if you're new, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed to the channel as well. Also, I'm going on a big push throughout the rest of 2025. There'll be a link in the description to my Twitch channel. We're trying to hit 10k followers over there before the end of the year as well. So yeah, please do help us out. Drop a sub, drop us a follow, and yeah, let's head then here to the Austrian Grand Prix. But yeah, check out that YouTube channel. There's some F125 setups there for you, sir. First lap then, 104.8. Little bit of a mistake halfway around the lap, but that's all right. Only 3/10 off Verstappen there, so happy with that one. But I think a lot of drivers haven't got proper runs in, especially the McLarens, because Ocon is currently 4th. We'll get out of the way of the pass. I don't know if they're on a run or not. Oh no, Ocon's not on a lap, chat. Right, we'll have to build ourselves up a little bit of a gap then. I don't know who's on a run and who isn't here, but everybody trying to find some space then as we get ready to start our last-ditch run of qualifying. Currently up in P3 provisionally, but we did get a nice slipstream on that run. Hopefully we're going to get another slipstream from Esteban Ocon this time round, but of course we will lose plenty of time in that first sector. Use a little bit more battery. Let's see, we've only lost about a tenth then, so we just got a very good car through the first sector here, up over the top of the hill. In fact, we've clawed all that time back immediately. So very happy with that one then. Make sure we use a bit of battery around the rest of the lap. We know there's going to be some time to find, but already I've just closed up a little bit too quickly to the back of Esteban Ocon here. So this is not ideal at the moment. This is not what we need as we round our way down the hill. Oh, the dirty air again. A low wing angle is not helping us as Norris rockets down onto 104.3. So I certainly don't believe we're going to get pole position here. I'm sure Verstappen will be improving as well. Talk of the devil, 104.2. The times are dropping here right towards the end of qualifying. We're going to find a load, though, through that final corner. It's going to be a 4-1.
Yes, excellent lap. We're all very pleased with that one. Nice work. Come on, I'll see you back in the pit.
Was not expecting that. Well, there we go then. I thought Verstappen had done it. I thought Lando Norris had done it first. Verstappen went even quicker, but somehow we have found a 10.5 over the Dutchman then to line up on pole position ready for the Grand Prix. Top 5. Not quite your top 5 in the Drivers' Championship. Verstappen, though, on the front row. Yuki Tsunoda down in P14. So a disappointing effort from him. Yeah, both V-carbs there. 17th and 19th for Hajar and Lawson. They'll be disappointed with that one as well. But very happy with that qualifying time. Just came alive right at the end of the lap. Safety car does look good. I like it. Right. The weather remains unchanged, ladies and gentlemen. But that, we saw it in Barcelona. I reckon the rain was going to show up at the end of the race. Came like lap 30. Even earlier than that, if I remember correctly. So I'm not holding my breath that it'll stay dry for as long as the team believe it will. I want to keep myself a set of hard compound tyres just in case. But 71 laps here from the Styrian Hills. I might up the wing slightly more at the front, just so we got a bit more bite when the rain does come. My guess is that it's going to rain earlier and stay raining throughout the rest of this race, because that's normally what happens inside F125, but we shall wait and see. Let's get on with it, though. It's time. Ready for the Austrian Grand Prix. Everybody around us on mediums. It's 5 red lights. It's lights out, and away we go then as Verstappen immediately tries to get a good jump on me down in towards turn 1. Hamilton versus Verstappen, we've seen it before there. We'll just slot in behind the Dutchman and try and maximise the run off the exit of that first corner there. The Dutchman, I'm sure, will try and use some battery as we make our way up in towards turn 2 and turn 3 there, but he'll give me the avenue. Well, around the outside, heavy fuel though. We've just completely ran myself off the road up at the top of the hill. Didn't even need Verstappen to do it for me there. Luckily, we hang on to that P2 position. Didn't panic myself too much. And we will hang on in the spot then. It's already... Oh, Lando Norris there sensing an opportunity to have a look down the inside. Of course, we need to make sure we outscore him today as the World Championship leader at the moment. But a little bit of a dramatic start. So we've done all right. We've kept it fairly clean and tidy. A little bit of a wobble. We've got to keep it clean and tidy with the Dutchman early on. When is the rain going to arrive, though, chat? Let's ask in on Mark. We want to go with that.
No threat of rain for the time being. Conditions look good. Dries definitely seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
There we go then. So Mark doesn't see the rain coming anytime soon, which normally means it's at least half an hour away. As we have a look around the outside of Verstappen up the hill at turn 3. Around the outside we will go then, and straight back up into P1. Christian Horner calls the stewards for Ferrari teasing. So that is the one place. Oh, you've got to be really careful with the AI. They are so quick down in towards that final turn.
Use your overtake button more. It's time to utilise some of this energy. Come on.
So already looks like our top 5 then, getting a bit of a breakaway from everybody else. New fastest lap of the day, rather unsurprisingly. But yeah, I'm sure Verstappen is going to be very, very competitive. So yeah, my plan, once I finished F1 Championship Edition, is I want to try and win a championship on every single F1 game from 2010 onwards. That's the goal. It might take me literal years. I mean, I think I've been playing F1 Championship Edition now for like 2 or 3. Obviously very much on and off, but that's the goal, is to try and win a championship on every single F1 game from 2010 through to F1 25. Nepotism. I knew it began with an N. Nepotism. Exactly. So I think like his mum, I want to say, was like quite high up in Sainsbury's. And he was just completely inept, had like no people skills or anything like that, and was just an awful manager. Like our old manager before that was lovely, but this new manager was terrible. And this was basically, so he called me into his office one day. Oh, there you go. Rain's definitely rolling in. He called me into his office one day, and this was the conversation that made me know I had to leave Sainsbury's. Because he basically sat me down and obviously said, I know you applied for an interview here. We've got a manager's opportunity opening up at another Sainsbury's nearby, if you wanted that. And by this point, I was kind of like really now on the fence about whether I even wanted to stay or whether I was just going to try YouTube full time. And he basically got on their website. So if you're internal in Sainsbury's, obviously it would show you like job opportunities that were around. And they had like the full salary and everything like that, which I don't think they showed externally. And he basically said to me, he was like, you know, you could go work here for this much money, you know, for a couple of years, and then you could potentially come back here, and you know, you could be on, you know, you could get my job when I move up, and you could be on this much money. And the number he gave me was lower than what I was earning doing YouTube, and already at that point I was down to like 20 hours a week at Sainsbury's. So I basically looked at him and he was kind of like, you know, this is a huge amount of money. And I kind of was like, it wasn't something to laugh at by any stretch, but I was kind of there going, I'd be taking a pay cut. I didn't say that to him because I kind of didn't want him to know exactly what I was earning. But yeah, that just the fact he was like, you know, you could earn this much money working, you know, doing my job. And I was kind of there going, yeah, that was the final straw for me. This isn't somewhere I want to work anymore. If that's where my top aspiration and dreams are, I don't want to be here. So yeah, I want to try and really maintain at least 4 streams a week until the end of the year. And then I'm also planning on trying to do a lot more promo with it on YouTube and things like that. Trying to get to 10k by the end of the year. And then hopefully as we go into 2026, that can hopefully be a big year for it, but we shall wait and see. Obviously, things can change rather rapidly. Would I go down the Ches route of live streaming content as I record it? This is something as well that I'm umming and ahhing about, and I might do a bit more in 2026, especially when the hype for F125 has kind of died down a lot, is doing a few more kind of one-offs, a bit like we do with Creator Series now. And then obviously have roll editing. I think it's definitely a system that could work in the future. So he must be really struggling on his tries. I think we've done a good job looking after these mediums as far as we have. But I think we could even see a switch to the full wets later on in the day.
Copy that.
Ooh, a little bit wide on pit lane entry. That's okay, though. But just make sure we get in nice and tidy. Don't speed. Whatever I do, don't speed. There you go. Nailed it. Around the turn of the millennium, colours were becoming really popular names for kids. Now, this is a genuine true story. Colours were, like, becoming quite popular. Now, my parents, as many of you guys know that come around to the streams quite often, and as anybody that's met me in person can tell you, I'm a rather sarcastic man. Like, I don't try to hide it. I know a lot of people, it's, you know, it's the lowest form of wit. I get it. But I'm a very sarcastic man. I get that from my parents. They, unironically, were tempted to call me and my sister Blue and Red so that we'd be Bluebeard and Redbeard. Which would have been so funny, but so... It's the kind of thing, like... I know Matt212 was telling me about that woman that's, like, called her kids, like, Aquaman and Elvis or something. Like, imagine... if I'd been called Redbeard. Would have been so bad. Why would Mark tell me one lap, go wet, and then immediately I don't, and he goes, oh yeah, you made the right call there. Sorry, buddy. This is what annoys me so much on F125. So if you don't know, basically, obviously, the way the game bases it, whether you pit or not, is on the tyre delta. What it thinks the other tyre would be quicker than. The problem is they haven't updated the tyre delta for 25. But they have changed the amount of grip the tyre produces in different conditions. So they're basically just calculating it completely wrong. And that's, like, you remember on F124, the inters just were always pretty much the better tyre. On 25, the wets are viable. But the game doesn't calculate it correctly. And it's really annoying. Piastri's gone full wets. I'm pretty certain everybody behind him has. Near enough. There might be a couple of cars that have stayed out there, but... Suddenly now, yeah, your top four have got an even bigger lead. Oh, Verstappen's in! Verstappen's in then, chat. Okay, is Norris going to be in as well? There's some cars diving in. So I've got no idea what the AI are doing. Norris is in. I'm hoping Leclerc will stay out. If I tell the team I want a box, maybe he'll stay out? No, Leclerc's in as well. So we are one of the only ones then gambling it, staying on these inters. But the rain's meant to get easier. Least favourite sector from any racetrack. Miami Sector 2 is terrible on the F1 game. Abu Dhabi Sector 3 is another awful one. It's better now than it used to be, but it's still bad. Those are like two that immediately jump out to me. Tumbleweed, thank you for the follow, mate. Welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. Germany, yeah, I suppose with Audi coming back could be more possible. I guess with Audi and Mercedes there, you think there's a slightly better chance again? What track I want to see, chat, I want, and I know I've said it before on like Jamie and I's podcast, I want a Suzuka Fuji doubleheader. I want them ran on back-to-back Sundays. That would be great. Because Fuji deserves an F1 drive. But Suzuka probably doesn't deserve to get dropped. Although I'd worry now, if we went to Fuji after Suzuka, people would realise how much better it would be for Formula 1 racing. Portimao was another great one. I would love to see Fuji. 3 of the 4 Fuji Grand Prix were iconic. I had no idea what happened in 1977. So, team is saying track's going to dry up soon. We are basically now even on fuel, so we have got to be a bit careful. But we have almost now got a 30-second gap. Are the team trying to go all... Sorry, the AI trying to go all the way to dries? That'd be a very, very odd choice if they are. Hey, Toby, thank you for the bits, buddy. I've been to a few Grand Prix, actually. I've been very, very lucky. I went to Monza, Silverstone, and Spa in 2023. I was very lucky. I got invited to 2 of those. And I went to Spa with my dad. I went to... Where did I go? I went to Imola 2022. I went to Belgium again in 2015 and 18. And then Austria for the 2017 race. So I've been very, very lucky that I've been to quite a few Grand Prix in my time. But yeah, all he said back to her after she'd given this speech was, you know, hopefully now I'm gone, you're actually going to remember to pay for the fuel we use. Which was hilarious finding that out. Oh no! We've been held up by Leclerc! I completely forgot Leclerc was the car right in front of me, so that's a slow stop. I mean, Verstappen's going to close in surely, chat. Wait, Leclerc's got inters? Sorry? Oh, don't say we made the wrong call. Oh, chat. Have we made the wrong call late on in the day? Now the AI going intermediates, we've gone dries, or are they just one stage behind us for some reason? Grip feels alright. I think we're good. That is wild. So, yep, Leclerc's in again then. So the AI are doing 2 pit stops in 2 laps. We might unironically be close to max by the end of this. That is the most Ferrari-esque strategy I've ever seen, except for everybody's doing it. So I'm going to have 2 stopped this race. I think the AI are going to have 4 or 5 stopped by the end of it. They've gone mediums. What on earth are they doing towards the end? At least it takes some pressure off of me towards the end of the race. But that is hilariously bad. Oh, well, just over 1 lap to go then, ladies and gents. I tell you what, this race, I don't think we've won this one by being hilariously OP against the AI. I think we have honestly... Well, we've done 3 less stops than Verstappen, I'm pretty certain. You gain about 20 seconds from a pit stop. I think actually on raw pace, Verstappen might just have had me today, but we have ignored Ferrari, and it has paid dividends, because as we start the final lap of the Austrian Grand Prix, it is only Verstappen on the lead lap here in Austria. Ferrari, I believe Leclerc won this race back in 2022, but Ferrari otherwise haven't seen much success around this venue since it returned to Formula 1. But as we round our way then on this final lap of the GP, we're going to make huge inroads in the World Championship. I believe we will move up to P2 overall. I think we'll go ahead of Leclerc. I think we'll go ahead of Verstappen and Yuki. We'll still be a few points back from Lando Norris, but as we get towards half distance this season, we are really, really building up some momentum. We've still luckily got just a tiny bit extra fuel in reserve as well, so we've done pretty good with that as well. But through the final few corners of the Austrian GP today, it has certainly been our day once again. We've become the first 3-time winner of the season so far as well. Can we try and set another new fastest lap on the very last lap of the Grand Prix? Got to make sure I keep it somewhat in track limits through the final couple of corners. Out of the final turn, Verstappen's backyard. It is going to be P1 for Lewis Hamilton. We don't set another new fastest lap at the end.
Woo! Great job, guys. That's an incredible result for the team.
There we are then, your top 3 on the grid, your top 3 when we come to the checkered flag there. It's just a shame there was nearly a minute separating your top 2 by the end of yet another Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc, a decent result for P4 in the end, just ahead of Oscar Piastri. George Russell in 6th, ahead of Albon, Ocon, Alonso, and Nico Hülkenberg there. Antonelli narrowly misses out on points. But yeah, Albon, a really, really good drive, actually. 7th from 12th on the grid. A lot of AI 4 stops, strategy. We 2 stopped, so I think we were going to have the pace to win that one anyway. But I think it was going to be very, very close between Max and I. We just nailed the strategy at the end of the day there. 110 AI and 3 of the last 4 Grand Prix. We have almost lapped everybody. I think EA needs to change the AI difficulty still inside the game there. What does that do to our championship, though, ladies and gentlemen? We are 3rd. We are 1 point back behind Max, but 18 points covering your top 4 in the championship right now. This is really, really heating up. Sonoda, a disappointing day for him. especially with that puncture late on. I think he was going to recover to score a couple of points, but ultimately, yeah, will not walk away with anything for his troubles. You can see it's still kind of your big four teams, minus Antonelli. Then your Aston Martins, but Sainz still up in P10, just ahead of Ocon. Albon, though, yeah, some good points for him today, as he's now comfortably back ahead of Andrea Kimi Antonelli. And like every series, it feels like Bortoletto and Hadjar just cannot score inside F125, which is a little bit of a shame. Constructors-wise, Ferrari, though, we are now 16 clear of Red Bull, who are a further 1 ahead of McLaren. So that is going to be a battle that rages on throughout a lot of the season as well. Mercedes still in a distant P4 ahead of Aston Martin. Williams ahead of Haas. Alpine, V-Carb, and Kick Sauber. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we'll be back very soon ready for the British Grand Prix. Can we win another British Grand Prix?